Hello, art teachers, and welcome to my classroom tour for the 2025-26 school year. In a different school than my last classroom tour from back in 2022. I'm teaching at a high school in Miami-Dade County now, and I've been in this room for 2 years now, and I wanted to do a classroom tour going over several of my organizational systems, decor, and other tips and tricks that I've collected over the last 12 years that I've been teaching art and graphic design. I'm going to be doing 2 classroom tours. I'm going to be doing a classroom tour for my art room where I'm currently at, and a classroom tour for my digital design room. So stay tuned so you guys can see how I'm developing these rooms, how I'm prepping for the beginning of the school year. And let me know in the comments if you have any tips and tricks that you guys would like to share to help me better this room and make it a little bit more fun and interactive to be in throughout this school year. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome to my art room for the 2025-2026 school year. This is going to be my 3rd year at this public high school in Miami-Dade County and my 12th year teaching overall. So I want to take you through some of my decor, some of my organizational systems in this particular classroom. This is where I'm going to be teaching Drawing 1 and Drawing 2 this school year to my high school students. And I'm actually going to be teaching digital design in another classroom, so stay tuned for a different video where I go over my digital design classroom. So let's start from the beginning where students walk in at the front door. Right over on the left of the door, my students have their portfolio storage in this old TV media station. And you can see that I got several large hefty boxes labeled with the period number for each class that I'm going to be teaching Drawing 1 or 2. So when my students walk in, they can find their class period. Let's say I'm in period 5, grab their portfolios out of the bin, go and sit down and continue their projects. Makes it really, really useful to have this right at the beginning of the classroom. If you want to see a tutorial where I show you how to make the portfolio students are going to be storing in these boxes, check out the link that I'm going to be putting in the description bar of this video. Any of the posters seen in this classroom are all sourced from tpt.com with some exceptions, so teacherspayteachers.com. These posters just go over several different art genres. And at the top here, I'm going to get a Cricut and I'm going to make a label that says art history genres or something of that nature. I have a really large trash can, which is kind of an eyesore, but useful because we make a lot of trash. Right over to the side, we have the Promethean board, which I love. Makes teaching very easy. And when I'm demonstrating, makes it really clear for all students to see. I put some LED light strips on the edges, which makes it fun, and glow rainbow lights, especially when all the lights in the classroom are off. Over here, we have some personal things on my student desk. On my teacher desk. My teacher desk is very untraditional. It's basically 2 large IKEA tables that I sourced from an organization called the Ed Fund. I suggest if you're a Miami-Dade teacher and you don't know about it, you check it out. So over on this side of the desk, I got a wireless keyboard that's connected to my Promethean board. So I can demonstrate here, connect my document camera, put up a drawing, my sketchbook, whatever supplies I'm going to be using, and spread out in all this area I have right here. You can see I've been abusing it with acrylic paint, but that's okay. It is an art classroom overall. And on this side of the desk, this is where I have my computer and where I do some of the admin stuff, doing lesson planning, taking attendance, and all that junk. This I love. I got this from Amazon. It's a voice amplifier, which I wear when I'm teaching so I don't have to yell. It makes it super, super easy for me to amplify my voice. Since I don't have storage, I invested in these drawer units from Target so I can store my printer, paper, and some personal items. I have my old gaming chair here, and to the side I have another old media cart with my mini fridge that holds mainly water. This art light box I invested in with a grant that we got last year, and I love it because it's a perfect size that I use for most art projects for drawing one, and it helps me to create several different copies of drawings that I use for several different demonstrations. Underneath, I have my printer, which I fundraise for through donorschoose.com. I'll include a link to my Donors Choose profile if you would like to donate. And then I have, of course, my microwave, so I don't have to use the one in the teacher's lounge all the way downstairs because I'm on the 3rd floor. On the back of my teacher desk, I have this artwork that I made in collaboration with my students last year, and which actually won 1st place at the Art of Found Objects competition held by the Ed Fund. It's actually composed of repurposed books that were folded by my students that I painted and connected in different color schemes. So I'm gonna get a Cricut, make labels at the top, one that says warm colors, cool colors, complementary colors, monochromatic colors, and so forth. So that it's not just decoration, but also used for the purposes of learning. So as a learning tool. Over here, in addition to this little poster from my alma mater, I have this little clipboard that I use to hang up documents that I need to revisit throughout the school year, in addition to this mirror that I got from Target that I use to check myself out. Over on this side of the room is where I have my 12 student tables, each containing a very well-worn and well-loved caddy. I got these shower caddies 12 years ago at Walmart, and they've held up beautifully since then. And this is what I use to hold materials for all of my classes so that they don't have to get up 100 times to get stuff on the counter. Right now it's set up for portfolios. So you can see I have it set up with duct tape, scissors, and quick sticks that they're going to be using to assemble their portfolios on the 1st week of school. And I have one caddy per student table. Over on the side, I have my windows. These banners were created by the art teacher, Cassie Stevens, for the company Prang, and they came in a set of 4. Right now I have 3. These were decorated by my students at the end of the last school year. It is very much elementary level, but I wanted something colorful to welcome my students for the school year. And I loved how my previous year students decorated this one with all the different little frames with different anime characters, cartoon characters, and so forth. So when the school year starts going in full swing, what I typically do for that window and this window right over here is that I start exhibiting student artwork onto the windows. So I'm going to be taking down those banners and putting student artwork as they make it throughout the school year on display. I also put it on the walls in between this bulletin board with several different posters, again sourced from teacherspayteachers.com. I apologize for any shakiness in this video. Over on the back end of the classroom, I have this huge drying rack, which holds a lot of artwork when we're painting and doing printmaking towards the latter end of the school year. And I have my whiteboard. It's a huge whiteboard, which is great because I can include each day's agenda and several different examples of whatever project we're working on. So right now I have it set for the agenda for the first day of school and several different examples of the portfolio covers that my students made last year, along with several different requirements and grading criteria that I'm going to be looking for. Right now it says same because drawing 1 and 2 will be doing the same thing for the first week. Over on the side, I have some well-worn, loved, and trustworthy shelves that I got from Walmart several years ago. And I use these shelves to store primarily our drawing paper, in addition to some still life objects that I keep at the top and some other junk. So it may look disorganized, It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it definitely holds a lot of useful materials we're going to be using throughout the school year. And I love using the vertical storage space. Right next to this bulletin board, again, I need to make some labels with my Cricut. I have some acrylic paints, some of which were sourced from the Ed Fund and some of which were bought with a grant that we earned last year. So primarily acrylic paints. And what I do throughout the school year when we're painting is I'll pour the paint from these large gallons onto these snack containers that I source from Target in the dollar spot. Love these because they keep the paint nice and moist. They come with these lovely lids that snap right in place. So this hasn't been used since June and they're still moist. So this paint is totally still usable. And what I'll do when students are painting is I'll put one container for warm colors, one container for cool colors, and then they can kind of share the colors at each table. So I invested in several of these, which I'm going to be refilling with paint when the time comes. This used to be a science classroom, which is why I have a shower attached to this very annoying piece of furniture that I can't do much with except try to use it as storage the best way that I can. Some unsightly storage down here where I keep my watercolor paints. Next to the sink, again, used to be a science classroom, which is why the sink is a little bit weird. I keep all of these Method spray bottles that I fill with water and normal dish soap so that students can spray down their tables at the end of every class period. The tissue's obviously there for that purpose. These posters here were sourced from the Canadian Crayola website. I definitely suggest you check it out if you need posters for your classroom, because you can see they're really colorful, informative, and they look great. I don't have a lot of storage in this room, but it's definitely more than I had in the last art classroom I held in this particular school. On the cabinets, I just kind of like go and put several different posters to keep them a little bit more illustrated and colorful. And I use all my vertical storage up there, holding extra caddies and baskets that I use throughout the school year. And then on the counter, I'll usually put out project paper and any other excess materials that we may have. These don't close exceptionally well because I have them full of art supplies. But it's great storage for all of the drawing supplies, inks, scissors, and any other materials that we're going to be using throughout the school year. So could it be better organized? Probably, but it works. So let's just shut that and forget about it for a little bit. Over on the bottom where I have these drawers, I have rulers, paper, a ton of felt, and bags sourced from the Ed Fund that are going to be used for some kind of collage or something down the line, and more extra materials. Ooh, and that's empty. So more storage possibilities there. This here is my pride and joy. I love this paper cutter, and the reason I love this paper cutter is because it's cuts paper beautifully, but you can't cut yourself with it because, as you can see, it's not sharp, but it cuts paper perfectly, and it's huge, so it makes it safe for my teacher aide to use, and I'm not worried that she's going to cut herself. I use some command hooks to go and connect the broom and a dustpan here so students can use that to help clean up at the end of the class period. My old bathroom pass, I have to replace this about twice a year, but it works for now. This is what the room looks like when I pan out and show you. So it's clean right now because school has not yet started, but I'm proud of where I've gotten so far in getting it ready for my students. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or any suggestions for how you could improve this classroom. And I can't wait to read them and interact with you. So that was the classroom tour, pretty short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know again in the comments if you have any questions or any suggestions, and I can't wait to interact with you there. Peace out.